Hey.
What's up?
What are we filming today?
So you know that guy John Sholine? He's like really popular in those Facebook group things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that walks a lot.
Yeah, he walks around and he does the pictures of Okinawa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're meeting up with him like in like 20 minutes or so. He's like a fascinating guy. Actually, you know what? I don't even really know the guy. I was just like, hey, you do things. You want to do things together? And then he's like, sure, meet me at this place at 1. And that's what we're doing today. It's like 20 till, so we should probably just start walking because we got to go that way for a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like we're
get going.
I feel like we're gonna be there a little early.
Aren't we the only ones coming?
Yeah, it's just the two of us. And him, obviously. Because this is about him. We're like right outside and he just messaged me. He's like, are we good to go? I'm like, well, we're right outside. So he just asked me, you are where, doing what, sunbathing?
Okay.
Alright, let me call him. Oh no, I was wondering, are you still going to the same Indian restaurant? Yeah, I'm right out front. No. It was a miscommunication. I totally should have double checked and made sure where we were meeting. Go ahead and finish your coffee, take your time. I don't live that far from here, so when you're ready to leave, just reach out and then maybe we could pick a place. We can even meet out front of here, wherever it's easiest for you. Okay, so turns out, we were supposed to meet at 1, but he's still at home. He just woke up, he's drinking coffee. He's gonna check his Scrabble notifications and then he's gonna come meet us. He's like, yeah, I've been going to this place all like forever. They're friends of mine, but they like to close at 2, and I like getting there just at 2, just as they're closing, and be their last customer.
Namaskar. Welcome to Indira.
Hi.
Namaskar.
Nice to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you.
This is my fiance, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
And also my cameraman for the day.
My name is John. I stay up late, I sleep late, I eat late, and I run late. And I'll just show you something. See, I replenished my flyers. Printed like 3,000 of these for me. And I never got any business, you know. I'm not a good business person. So basically what I will do whatever it says on there for free. But if somebody wants to donate money, I won't turn it down. Right?
That's awesome.
I used to do everything in the Zoris, but these are much better.
Is your method just park somewhere and start walking?
Exactly. Like sometimes I single out a place, you know. I just think, where am I going to go today? And I just scan some maps and I think, oh, this looks like an interesting place. And I'll just drop a navigation pin because I like to have the Australian lady in my telephone tell me where to go. Turn in 50 meters and the road to, if I use Apple Maps, it's really funny. She'll say things like, instead of Kian, she'll say cayenne, like it's pepper, or Awase, Aways.
Aways.
Take the Aways highway. So I like to use Apple Maps sometimes, but I just go somewhere. And like I told you before on the phone, that my philosophy is that any neighborhood is good in Okinawa, right?
Yeah.
So since we met here at Indira today, this is as good a neighborhood as any. So sometimes I'm keeping in mind, like if I'm doing one of these photo walks, I usually do them, most of them, the photos in the order that I took them. So I want to have a nice image for the first.
Someone can follow your path.
The first one, you know, so people click on it. Oh my God, there's a 7-Eleven there.
Yeah, there's.
Oh yeah, that opens in 3 days.
So this is a nice scene here. I'll just try to frame it up. I don't mind a few parked cars here, they're just part of the scene. But see, I got 3 rooftops in the frame there. And see, then I have a look at it. And I know that's gonna be a good photo. You know, I really usually almost use nearly all of the photos that I take on a walk, so I have to try to govern myself a little bit.
How long do you normally walk for? Like, do you have a time that you?
This is earlier in the day than I usually go, and so a lot of times I'm just constrained by the sunset.
Oh, okay.
So oftentimes, like I told you, I'm kind of running late in the day. So oftentimes I see this. It's not a nice gate, but lately somebody invited me to join a group called Okinawa Iron Gates, and the thing is in kanji. So I only know the name group, when I'm looking in my groups now. But I see a lot of really nice old houses, but they have aluminum or aluminium gates. I lived in England for 8 years, so I can talk proper if I try. I don't know if this is an iron gate. It's not a really nice traditional iron gate, but the whole scene is nice. So you've got different things you can frame up here with the old cistern, the old shed house. See, it's like a compound. They follow my posts, and so I invited them to post my own iron gates if they like my pictures of iron gates. Is this a completely new 7-Eleven with a traditional type roof tiles?
They're still building it.
Because the Family Mart is still down there, right? A little further?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're still building that.
Completely new.
Yeah, it says the 6th.
Yeah, so they're opening in about 4 or 5 days. 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
Wow, I didn't even notice it. They're popping up everywhere now. So anyway, I just try to frame it in a way that will be interesting. There's something here, I think, that I've taken pictures of a few times because it's just really cool. It's the right house I'm thinking of. Yeah, I love this. It's probably belongs to the same people who have that house with a new painted roof. It's just a little place to park the car, and a little one-room house on stilts.
I kind of like the kids' clothes hanging
Right.
in.
So that's a nice one. Many times. Different ones. My wife really liked one that I did a few years ago. She wanted to make a print and display it somewhere. Okay. Sometimes I make a distinction in the caption between the roofs that are painted, and these are all here cement tile roofs, not clay tile roofs. Ironically, the only clay tile roof in sight is on the 7-Eleven across the street. I may capture from here, from the edge of the lane, then we'll come back. Well, some of the houses do have it, and they're on all kinds of various states of disrepair. Sometimes the clay tiles are in okay condition but unpainted. Sometimes they are painted. And the car just came in here. Hello. Hard to see in this bright light, but look at that. That looks nice. And then sometimes I'll do a thing like this. Focus on the Shisa, the house back. People have told me for a long time, oh, you ought to get a proper camera and do this fine. But no, I like the simplicity of doing it with an iPhone camera. And it's also less intrusive, I think, into the people's lives, because I'm poking right up into their driveways and stuff. So with a camera phone, it's like, okay, but if I come around with a thing like that, they're gonna, oh, what are you doing,
Yeah, I agree. I had a client that was Thailand, and we would be shopping for houses. I just remember one house. It was really nice, and she really liked it, but it was right at like the T street. She's like, I can't buy it. I'm like, why not?
The spirits can come in.
Yeah, spirits can come right in.
Interesting.
Thailand,
they have a similar.
Yeah.
So see here, this is kind of a nice on a modern house. I have a really nice clay tile entrance gate. So even when people have these modern houses, they remember their culture,
There's only one though. Is there another one somewhere?
I'm not sure. They're not too precious about rules,
Not the newer.
Because like one keeps bad spirits away, the other one keeps them in just to be.
But proof that it is symbolic, I took a photo the other day, and I said, this is definitely going to be something I'll mention in the caption. Because it was at a nice place, maybe a nice traditional house in Hamahiga that has a you know, it's like a tea house in there or something, right? So it's like a public place. And they have the nice house, but instead of shisa on the wall, there were just a couple of simple stones by the gate in the place where shisa would be. And that's just shows you the importance is the thought that goes into it. Oftentimes I see that, either seashells instead of a shisa, or even just a simple stone or piece of concrete block.
Huh.
The importance is the energy that's been infused into it, or the thought. Yeah.
Wow.
So what got you started in doing this?
I was just fascinated, you know, like, actually, you know, I lived here for those 10 years. I didn't have any camera. I didn't do any photography. But after a while, I was a kind of a late adopter to the whole internet thing, you know? But once I started to look at things on my wife's iPad, I started to realize what was possible, and eventually, once I got the an iPhone, I realized, wow, I've got a camera here, and there's actually a friend who was married to an Okinawan guy that they met in Iowa, and she's an art teacher, was at the time, and she would come back here for the kids to visit the family in the summer, and she just like took a few photos with her smartphone walking to get the kids from the kindergarten or whatever, and it was just observing the beautiful little things, and I go, that's kind of cool, I could do that. So then I realized I have this camera. I had never really been a photographer, you know, in all my travels to back in the 70s and stuff. Once in a while maybe I had one of those disposable cameras with film, and once I did that, I just started to then seek out the neighborhoods and starting to do something kind of like what I'm doing now, and just had a few people that appreciated it among my personal friends. And then the way that the Sholine Access thing came up was I had it, you know, set up for the idea of a business that never became a business, but I started about a little over a year ago posting from that name, because it was after what I call the Christmas Day debacle. Bill Bechtel, who was a teacher at the school, grew up in Okinawa. Bechtel School Elementary is his name for his father. He was one of the earliest members when there was only a few hundred people, and I lived in Okinawa. And he had some sort of a mildly political cartoon that he put on the site, and the whole thing started to get out of hand. The thread of conversation with people with political opinions. So the moderator, and this was like Christmas Day a year ago, a little over a year ago, the moderator meant to just delete the post, but they accidentally deleted Bill. And so then Bill started to post on his own page, I've been deleted from this group. I was one of the founding members practically, been on this thing for years, and all my things that I thought were archived are gone. So then he recommended these other groups, the Okinawa and Click Okinawa, a couple of other groups. And then they realized it was a mistake. They came back and fixed it all. I don't know if they recovered all this stuff, but I thought, okay, I want to have archive this stuff separately. If I just share these directly to the groups, first of all, I'd have to do a complete separate narration for every group, because I'm not tech savvy enough to copy it all. I don't know how Rob does that. He's got big computers and stuff. He sits there and he'll do basically the same post to several groups, but the way I'm doing it with just mobile devices, I put it all under that name, Sholine Access, and then hopefully it's archived, unless Facebook destroys my page. So anyway, but then they are also archived on those several groups as well. Did I take a picture of that house yet?
Not yet, no. For these walks, do you mainly take pictures of the old houses, or do you have a theme of things that you capture every single time you go on a walk?
I have no set plan, you know, like the one I just did of Zampa is all about the lighthouse in the Zampa Park, just wherever I go. And other times it's in a modern place. I've done ones also like in the Raikkonen Mall.
So what fascinates you so much about all of this?
It's the variety, you know. It's such a vibrant living thing. Like the beauty of Okinawa is they don't have like the kind of zoning you have in the States.
Yeah.
Here, you'll have in the same block $1 million house with a $10,000 house
Yeah.
in the same block. And then there's that mixes of nature, like the vines on these stone walls, the gajimara roots, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, like in a photo walk, I'll put in these things for kind of variety, right? The stone wall, the vines, the driveway to that old house. You hear somebody's passed away.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a
That
certain
means-
time in the past, like if it was more recent, then there would be more stuff, you know. So this is probably a month ago or a few
Yeah,
weeks
I would
ago.
say this is. I think that's the sign for they're in mourning.
Right. See dragon fruit on the roof? That's worth a picture.
That's pretty cool.
The dragons have taken over. This is the area I used to run around.
Really?
But I've never been in these streets, and that's what's amazing is you could live in somewhere for so long and not even know something exists within the.
Right.
Yeah, you and your friend.
Yeah, I just discovered these things by poking around. You know, I get curious, and I've gotten enough experience that I just like I know kind of when I'm in a village I've never been in before. If I go toward that hillside and I look for a certain kind of path, I'll go up there and I'll find a shrine.
I wonder what the story is behind these.
But well, the neat thing, look at how they look. I'm going to show you another one in a few minutes. That is the same design over by the Kominkan, and then there's also a modern one next to it at the Kominkan. And see, one thing I've observed from the photos over the years, this they have two concrete things on the top, but that one has a broken one. And then things happen in threes a lot of times. Sometimes there's one shrine with 3 stones inside. In this case, there are 3 little shrines. And often one will be for the hearth or cooking, one will be for the water or bathing, and another one will be just for the situation of the place. They have different purposes for different gods. See, there's a little...
Hi, Sai.
This is Kit and Matt, you know, they are like YouTubers, you know, and they were asking me about
Hi.
interesting people to meet, you know.
Oh, why don't you come? I'm making a tandoori
Tandoori oven?
oven by DIY.
Oh, wow.
ビデオ映しても大丈夫。
大丈夫大丈夫。
ありがとうございます。お邪魔します。
I want to see your little guest house too. Are you getting renters from time to time?
Yeah.
Are you on Airbnb or another?
No. Only for my
Booking.com?
friends and
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay, so if I have guests coming sometime that would like to stay in a place like this, I can just contact you directly.
No problem. Yeah.
YouTube で見たビデオでタンドリー作ってるんですか。
そうなんです。そこでいろんな実験を今ここで楽しく友達と過ごすためにやってて、それでまあこの焚き火もいいんだけど、やっぱりこういうのがないとちょっと不便かなと思って。
Oh, that's a little fire pit he has there
Yeah.
also. That's
Yeah, that's so cool.
neat. Outdoor kitchen.
ちょっと近くに行ってビデオ撮っても大丈夫ですか。あり
いろん
がとうございます
なシステム。実はここにね、
See, literally, these
ここから空気が入っていって向こうから出るようになってるんだけど、だからものすごい火の勢いがあるんだけど、
I suspect. You may know though because it's neighboring property. I was just showing them the uganju, the little shrines. Opposite, they cut down a bunch of brush over there. I'm assuming that's like the community land belongs to the village or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
the backside of my
Yeah,
house.
the 3 little shrines. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, these houses, I mean, the land over here, right here, it belong to that place, and Aza, which is Miyazato, they sold this land for us, like
Oh, for
50 years ago or
to
something.
build houses. So they kept that piece of land.
It used to be much
Right,
bigger.
because they have a similar little shrine at the Kominkan. Same style, you know.
Probably, yeah.
Right. There's 4. There's 3 together, and a 4th one. You know. I know we're Facebook friends again, but remind me of your name again because I forget. It's been so long since we talked.
Yasuhide Moriguchi.
Yeah, Yasu.
Yasu.
So as soon as I put in Yasu, it'll under the search thing. It'll come
You can find me with
up.
a
Yasuhide Moriguchi.
yeah, bulletproof vest. I used to be a war photographer before. So
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
A what photographer? Okay.
war,
wow.
combat photographer. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I used to so Iraq or some other like Gaza, West Bank.
Wow.
Well, it's too much for me, so I'm here as a farmer, you know, against.
Yeah, much more peaceful life, huh?
Oh yeah.
What's the deal with the hole down there?
He was saying that it's for the airflow for the.
I said this.
like some kind of air duct in the high call?
Right. And I want to
But-
see your little
You know,
guest house too.
it's a little messy
Keep
because
working. We'll have a self-guided tour. You said you have a view, a balcony to White Beach or something there, right?
yeah, please. It's not. It's, these are by myself alone. I built.
You
it.
built this, yeah? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Bidet toilet, nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Lounge chair.
お邪魔しま
どう
す。
ぞどうぞ。こういうのもね、like a,
します。
like you know, how to call it, train type toilet.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a train or airplane type.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has a tank underground.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But it's clean enough, and like it's
Yeah.
not like it's like a
And you have
camping
the shower.
toilet, you know.
You have the
Yeah.
shower. In
shower here if you want. But
Oh, and there's a
I have
loft.
it on
You
some
sleep.
kind of
You sleep.
construction men's toilet here because I'm too lazy sometimes.
Right.
But I don't want to use this toilet because the tank is not that big, you
Yeah.
know. So that
And then you
thing
have the
goes
sleeping
to a farm.
In the loft.
Oh.
It's gonna be fertilizer. Yeah, please, yeah. And a small kitchen here.
Oh yeah. This is just a little loft with a big bottle of wine.
すごい。
Wow.
自分で
一人で。
一人で建てたんです。すごい
And
で
in
す
the
ね。
kitchen, like, if you catch big fish, please bring it and let's cook it here.
ありがとうございます。
Look at the view.
Yeah, if you know how to cook fish.
So if I was to have guests coming, how much do you rent it for?
I don't know. I haven't.
You haven't really had them yet?
No.
Okay.
It's like hotel around here, like a cheap hotel
Yeah.
price around here. The best place.
Oh, a hot tub.
Yeah, hot tub.
We don't even have that in our house. We have only showers.
Yeah, and if
Oh,
you,
wow.
Yeah, and
Right. I'm turning the water on
this is
now.
gonna work. And you can see the beach and
Wow. You can lay in the bath and watch
And
the
also
White Beach.
the
Yeah.
shower here, so you can take a shower and take a bath.
Sorry.
Yeah, and read the books here.
Oh, there's another shower there?
No, it's actually a
It's up there.
place to change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
also
after the bath. Oh, there's a little shower
Yeah,
there.
nice view as well.
To rinse as you would before getting in a Japanese bath. Yeah. Wow, nice view from there.
Yeah, you can sit down and
Let me get out of your way.
read books.
おお、すごい。
これも自分で一個一個貼ってきました、こういうの。
You built all of this?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Myself. And I learned from YouTube.
Do you have a shrine? Is that?
No, that's a smoker.
Ah.
That's a smoker, you know, like a smoking chicken and holding a table. And if you have a kids, like some older people don't want to go upstairs.
Yeah.
So like I can put some mattress here and I can,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like,
Oh, it goes to the wall.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I see.
yeah,
Oh, oh,
yeah. So,
Huh.
go upstairs, yeah, please.
Like a Murphy bed. Uh-huh.
So finally I got it.
I had a look
oh.
around.
Wow.
僕はね、もともと愛知県でずっと東京にいて、それから10年ぐらい前にここに奥さんがここだから、まあ奥さん半分アメリカ人で、半分沖縄で、
はい。
だからここに結婚して10年前結婚して引っ越してきました。
Your wife is a Huffa too?
Yep, the father came from Minnesota.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, the place where
How about that?
Viking is. Vikings?
Vikings.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Minnesota
Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah.
This is her neighborhood too.
10年間カリフォルニアにいて、最近沖縄に帰ってまた帰国してきて。
Oh, like
Thank you so much.
yeah, no problem.
Did you see the sign on the door? A little house with a big welcome.
Oh, that's
This is
adorable.
my work when I was a war photographer. Please.
Oh, wow. ここはどこですか？
Wow, 100 inch.
Gaza and the West Bank. Gaza to West Bank とか。
すごい。これはもう何年
もう20年ぐらい前からずっと撮ってて、でも最後に撮ったのは多分10年ぐらい前、もう10年以上あんまり戦争のところは行ってないかな、
はい、今でも写真撮ったりするんですか？
もう本当に趣味の写真だとか結婚式お願いされたとかそれぐらいであとは小さな雑誌に載せたりとかね。
へー、わ
あのそうファーマーズトイレ
すごいな。
Yeah, like
The urinal
with the muddy foot. You don't want to go come in
the house, yeah. And you got another thing down there, private.
Yeah, private. There's so many paints. There's a paint,
Oh, the
paint
paints.
cans over there.
Yeah,
ありがとうございます。
She grew up here, you know, and then after 10 years in California, she remembered what's the best place in the world to live. So she's back and brought her honey bunny.
Had to bring the fiance.
Yeah. I like it better too.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
you
is the
know
best
what?
place in the world, man.
It's not super like financial rich place, but like it's a safe, very
This
safe
is
place.
a so
you know?
comfortable
Like,
place, yeah.
people are so nice and safe. That's
Sweet.
that's one thing.
Very sweet place.
California, a great place, but you know, there's so
This is
many places you
dangerous.
don't want to go there alone.
It's very takai.
Okay, yeah.
Did you finish your work? We distracted you from your tandoor.
Yep.
Done?
And then tomorrow, I try. I don't know. It's gonna work or not. Someday, if you have some time, let's have a drink. Let's have a beer together
Oh, thank you.
over there. Yeah.
ありがとうございます。
I'm a big beer drinker.
Well, we're going to continue with our walk. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
See you later. See you
Funny, I
later.
was telling them about you, but I wasn't going to disturb. But just lucky, you know, I almost went back the other way, you know, from those shrines to the ones at the Kominkan.
Oh.
But then I thought there's a neat pottery house over here.
Oh,
You know, yeah. I'm going to show them that next, and then you happen to be here, so perfect.
ありが
Okay.
とうござい
また
ます。
ここで一緒に飲みましょう。Let's
あり
do
が
it.
とうござい
あ
ます。
りがとうございます。
I always thought that was a little shrine. Looked like. Now, what'd you say is in it? That the smoker.
Smoker. Yeah.
A shrine to smoked meat.
Chicken smoker, meat smoker. Like, I can make a beef jerky over there.
That's cool. You meet all kinds of people on your walks.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah, fascinating people living all over the place.
So later, you know, when we get to be Facebook friends here, at any point we're in the shade or something, we can take care of that. Then I can point you to him on there. That's why I just asked his name, and then you could send a friend request to him. I'm sure he'd
Yeah,
be.
I'm sure he'd have some fascinating stories
Yeah,
too.
he's a neat guy. That's basically the longest I've talked to him. I met him like once and just said hello passing since, you know. So I learned a little more about him just then than I previously knew.
Builds all kinds of stuff. That's cool.
Wartime photographer, that's intense.
Watch out, I would war photographer, yeah. I didn't really realize. I knew he'd been in Israel, but I didn't know he was a war photographer. If you want to, we can go up that hill right there.
I've
Okay.
always wanted to go up that hill.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
This has been a very enlightening walk.
And just below that, at the bottom of that hill, there's a whole bunch of Esu Kamiya complex, like a Ryukin temple type of thing. And also on the highway, right across from Makeman there, you have ever noticed a kind of a half bridge sticking out over the highway? The reason they did that, there's a historic stone on the hill there. And so they, rather than plow the whole hill down, they made a bridge under the hill and kept the historic stone. It's like a census stone from the Ryukin Kingdom era. So remember the three that were together and had a certain style?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
So
the
here's
same.
one, the concrete thing is the same style, but this one instead has three stones in it. And then there's the modern thing there.
And that's the modern version.
And modern, and amazingly, it has like a, and see, these are always kind of significant stones. This bijou or sandstone concretion. They often have monuments on those. And it has a locking door. But one time I opened it and just looked in, and it's just some plastic flowers and bowls and stuff.
Okay.
It's mostly symbolic, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I've never been back here. I've lived here all my life, and I've never
Right.
been back here.
We go
I'm
up
just
there.
trying to remember if we can go up that or if it dead ends. I know we get to where we're going by going up that.
Do you want
But
me
let's just go up a little further just to see. I think there may be another way out. Because I don't like to go on the main road when I can go on a back lane. See here, somebody's keeping the old tiles.
Yeah.
Clay tiles. Interesting how the biggest grass has the smallest seeds. It's actually not the biggest grass. The biggest grass is bamboo. Did I mention bamboo is the biggest grass?
Oh, geez.
It's amazing how synchronicity works like that, isn't it?
That is.
See here you got the second biggest grass, Japanese pampas grass, with bamboo, the biggest grass.
Nice
Road.
view.
See a little gap in the wall, that's the road we'll be going up. They closed it to traffic. I took a young Japanese woman who was working at the restaurant years ago up there, and somebody had dumped trash. I mean, look at the views here over all the roads in the sky. See, it's Route 36, the yellow arches. Then the one beyond it is the Okinawa bypass. And then you can see the tanks on Inza Island. The Sanye is Yokatsu City. Sanye. There's the neighborhood.
It looks so far away.
Huh, that's interesting that they built a bridge. It's like this.
Yeah, it's kind of debatable whether to call it a bridge or a tunnel, but I'll show you down there. Okay. Yeah, you see the highway goes right under it,
Yeah. Then it just ends right.
but it doesn't cross it all over. It's like a half bridge, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's not a bridge.
But there's a couple of others, you know. Rob, you know, he's really into infrastructure. He's posted about a couple of these around Okinawa, usually for sacred sites. This one was done for a historic site. Get one more picture of the whole situation. This is the most trimmed up I've ever seen it. So maybe the other place will be trimmed too. Okay.
Do you ever use a pedometer or an app to see how many miles you walk on average?
My Apple Watch counts it if I want to check, but I don't usually check. But I have occasionally checked. Sometimes it could be 5 or 6 miles. Okay, so here's the Kamiyas I was telling you about. And I don't know if that sign was aiming at this.
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay. See, these are very modern. And when I read the old blog post or whatever it was about that Shirube stone, the guy mentioned coming across it when he came here to see magnificent old Kamiya with a wonderful big Gajimaru tree. But now we have a lovely modern concrete Kamiya, and the annoying Gajimaru tree has been dispensed with. I assume maybe the typhoon knocked it down. But look at that, there's like 3 here, and then there's another one right in there.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's like a whole concentration of different types of. Call that one the Kamiya, that was in Kamiya. And see, I mentioned before, had that little one back there by the Kominkan had the plastic flowers and bowls in it.
Yeah. I think those are real though.
Yeah, these are real. Do you know what those plants are called? Don't tell it to your host. Those are called
What's that?
mother-in-law's tongue.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll probably have to move away.
Probably, yeah.
Would you think you'll miss this?
Yeah, I might be able to come back sometimes, but for me, I'm not like, these people who are just pining for it and they look at it like this was the best time of their life. I'll just look at wherever I am. Hey, if I end up in Kona, Hawaii, he could do worse.
Yeah, that's true.
But otherwise, we also have a house in El Paso that we bought for possible retirement.
Huh.
My wife is leaning towards that, but I tell her, if your cats get out, coyotes will eat them. And I'm not that interested in that place, I mean, what appealed to us, it was the same, similar to Hawaii in that we've lived overseas so long. El Paso is technically in the United States, but it has one foot in Mexico. It's a very different place. The leaves look so similar to the pitanga, which are a little acerola type tropical cherry, like Suriname cherry, Barbados cherry. But I've never seen fruit on these, so I think maybe it's just the leaves look similar. Otherwise, I think I would have seen fruit here, because I come at different times of the year. Let's see what's up here before somebody came in the vehicle and dumped their trash. That's why they put a chain across the ground.
I didn't even know this place was accessible.
Wow. This is really cool.
There's one old Oaxaca there, and then there's a bigger one up here. Oh, wow. Want to see this one?
Yeah.
Those are.
Thank you.
Just gotta send her first, that way she can get some of the birds in her pants before I go.
Yeah.
The habu, make sure there's no habu.
Those little white flowers, these are the things that turn into big hitchhikers, Even though the flowers are pretty, pull them out because they make those little pronged long black things. That's how they got all over the world on people's socks. We had ourselves marooned on an island between the Queensland coast and the Great Barrier Reef, and those things were all over the place. But they had nothing to stick to because I went naked. Looks like it might be overgrown. It's a big ass tree trunk there though.
Oh, I can see it from here though.
Okay.
That hookah. That's cool. I love these rocks.
So if it was trimmed up, there would be another way around by the school. But this is not good, They haven't bloody trimmed it. But this is not too bad. It's good enough.
Huh?
There's a
Wow. Goes way up.
the birds right at the beginning.
We're about 252 feet.
Huh.
And it has a precise location in GPS.
That's amazing.
It does it mainly through location, but there is also a barometric pressure thing, which may augment it because it depends on the place. Like I did it on top of the lighthouse, and it seemed to detect it when I was up high on the lighthouse. Is different from down on the ground. There's a number of these ones like this that are pretty phallic. And there is some connection not only with Buddhism but maybe a spiritual connection going back to India. In India, phallic things like this that are holy are called Shivalingam, like a phallic. It's literally a phallic symbol of Shiva, of the god Shiva. And see, these are ancestral tombs. See how the stone is like that?
Yeah.
But these would be like no one's family living today, or the village will recognize that their ancestors lived here.
Wow.
These things all have their time of the year.
Well, growing up in this area, I've passed by this multiple times, this big mountain.
Right.
Ever since I was a little kid, I'm like, I would love to climb up this, but I never knew there was an entrance on the back.
I'm pretty sure Rob hasn't been to this one. I've mentioned it to him before. He's been to a lot of places, but I don't think he's been here. But when he sees this, he will.
Yeah, you'll see it. I guess we could close out the video on this one here. I mean,
Okay.
this is like the best place to do it.
Yeah, you want to close it out?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know. I guess thank John for taking us on the walk and letting us tag along on his little
My
journey.
pleasure. I hope you got some good things you can use. You got some idea how we did things. We had a few extra adventures, met some interesting people, which
Yeah.
doesn't always happen in my walks.
Yeah.
The benefit of going out earlier in the day, I think.
Yeah.
They're not home having dinner.
Playing Scrabble.
Right? Whatever they do in their homes, yes.
It was, I think, you know, when I reached out to you, I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen, and I still don't know what I'll do with this. But it was. I love what you do for the group, and it was really cool to be able to see the behind the scenes of how this all comes to be. So thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do it again sometime.
For sure.
I enjoyed it. You guys are good energy.
Thank you.